And we are live here today on the Reselling with Woody channel with a good friend, Andrew from Goodwater Pickers. So Andrew, what's going on, buddy?
Hey man, how's it going?
You're looking good. Did you get
awesome
wet?
Thursday. Yep.
How's the weather going? Did you get a lot of the residuals from the hurricane, or is that further east?
We got a lot of water. There's a ton of rain. It's most of it. The bad stuff was definitely further east. But here it rained. It started raining late Thursday, and it really didn't stop until probably Sunday afternoon. It was basically more rain than we've seen all summer, and we usually get a lot of rain in the summer. It's a lot of rain. The ground's soft.
Yeah, so it got mushy because of so much rain. How many inches did you get there where you're at? You're in Dixon, right? Tennessee somewhere?
I am in Dixon. I have no idea how many inches we got.
I think that further east, I apologize. The further east, I think Ben and them, they got quite a bit.
Yeah, they really got impacted. Several of the towns and roads washed out. It's pretty bad.
So I'm going to tell you who's in here. Are you looking at the chats or you want me to read it? We got Easy Pickings. Chris is in the house. We got Jason with Lux Garage. He's in the house. B Picking Barb, my significant other. And Buck Dust Media, Alex, thank you so much. I think
awesome.
everybody.
Yeah, I just changed mine was on private chat. I'm still learning that part. I just changed over to comments. Now I see everyone. What's up? What's up, Chris? Jason?
Yes. We're gonna see who all pops in today. This is really the first or second time. Thursday at 7. It's different, but I was trying to give everybody time to get their business done, before we got on here, and it usually takes a minute to pick up. So we already talked about the weather. Has it affected any sales at all for you?
I mean, sales were pretty slow over the weekend, and I ran like a full store 10% off sale, which I tend to do every couple of weeks. And I didn't sell crap. Like Friday, sometimes basically the way I do it is midday Friday. If nothing is selling, I'll start up a sale. But I didn't sell anything Friday. I only had 1 or 2 sales Saturday. Sunday it did pick up a little bit, like midday. But I mean, generally, I would be cha-chinging all weekend pretty consistently with a sale. So I mean, just thinking about it, I mean, at least 30% of the country was underwater or probably scared to be underwater. There was some impact. Even here, there were power outages and different things going on. So I would say, getting on eBay wasn't on the mind of the majority of the U.S. So I have to, outside of other conspiracies, I would say that probably had an impact on eBay a little bit. But this week, I said earlier, I extended my sale because it didn't work. So I went ahead and pushed it all through the week, which I really never do that. This is the first time I've actually just added 7 days to it, and I ran it through next Tuesday. And the week has been hot. Like from Monday until today, I'm having consistent sales every day. So either people are catching up or the sales are working.
Oh, who's this? So we got what is the Jando Crazy Cool? Thanks for stopping by. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, and I bet a lot of us haven't. What is the eBay store of trailer flips? Trailer flips? Trailer? You have to clarify that, buddy.
Trailer flips?
Trailer flips.
I have no idea.
I don't either. Maybe somebody in the chat could answer that. Chris, Alex, Jason, I don't really know. Don't know. Let's see what else is going on here. That's something else I wanted to talk about at some point today. Do you think that since we've had this storm, and it is impacting a lot of the United States, I know that because I can feel it in Oklahoma. A lot of my stuff gets shipped east, and I've noticed the sales really slowing down over that way. I did sell something to Georgia earlier, but like where I normally am selling is east for some reason, California some, but do you think that eBay is throttling views because of this hurricane impact?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I feel like eBay has control over throttling views. I've always felt that. Like if if we're looking at it from an angle of people are getting less views because a lot of people aren't on eBay, a lot of people are impacted, then does eBay turn that knob up a little bit? But can they do something to crank that lever and push the views out? That could be, that's another conspiracy theory too, but I think that's possible. There's no doubt that they have control over the algorithm. I mean, for me, I will say I generally get a lot of sales in the North Carolina area, being in Tennessee, a lot of the surrounding states, and I haven't gotten any, but I'm still getting sales that like Virginia, Pennsylvania, north of them, a lot of stuff. I'm still getting some sales in Georgia, even though Georgia was pretty well impacted. I know that from my day job. I have some staff in Georgia, and there was definitely some major impacts, and they had like a chemical plant explosion. There was just a lot of weird stuff south, but I'm still shipping to Florida and places like that. But yeah, I think I would say eBay could be pushing the gas pedal a little bit to help us out.
Now, Chris says that he thinks there is something to that because they do have that control over us. And if they think, okay, well, all these people, they don't have power, or they're flooded out, or they're doing other things, so we'll push the views to somewhere else. I don't know, Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico, or somewhere like that, instead of pushing it in that area right now because they don't have power anyway. Now, does it matter to them where they're pushing views? I mean, there's something to it, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but something seems fishy, and my sales have been slow.
Well, I mean, I can just say from experience with like big business that they have to have some type of statistics or be able to see within eBay, within their stores and sellers, that there are impacted areas. So, right. Like if there's people who are making sales and there's nothing going on, like let's say you were in an area that was impacted. I mean, that's a complex thing because I work in a business where if there's like you get feedback from shippers, USPS, FedEx, and they'll tell you, hey, you can't ship here, it's blocked off, and you get that almost instantly when there's something impacted. And there's cities in North Carolina that I've looked at where you can't even get into them. So right. eBay has to have that feedback, and they probably received it almost instantly just looking at how big of a business they are. So I would say it's feasible that you should be able to pinpoint a seller's store. Maybe they sold some stuff over the weekend and there's been zero activity. We're going to cut that off because obviously something's going on. I know you're in an impacted area because I've got feedback from the post office, from FedEx, that I've had for 3 or 4 days saying there's a shipping hold. We can't even get to these places. So yeah, and eBay has to have that because they're a bigger business than what I work for, and we have that. Yeah. So, I'm just I think it makes perfect sense that they would have some type of information and be able to limit sales or stop promoting areas that are clearly impacted.
Yeah. Well, Chris Easy Pickens says that maybe they're not showing the sellers the items that are in highly impacted areas. And that's what we're talking about. There's something to it. I've been selling but it's been slow. Of course, my attention's been diverted to messing with the shed, as everybody kind of knows. So I'm trying to figure out the electric and getting all this stuff, and that's a pain in the rear end.
Man, I wish I could come help you. My dad was an electrician growing up. He worked for the railroad, but he wired houses on the side. And you saw my building where I put some pictures. I'll send you some pictures tomorrow. But I have a mini barn at the back of the property, and I basically ripped the electricity out of that, and I'm going to put like a small 50 amp in the big building just so I can run a few receptacles. But I took my dad helped me set that up, but I pretty well know how to do it, but I'm not going to electrocute myself, knock on wood, But the last couple of days, because we had all this rain, I dug a 20-foot trench, and it only took me about 30 minutes. I took breaks, but the ground is so soft. I thought, man, let me try this, and I've been out there with my spade shovel just turning it up. I try to make it to code. It's got to be a little bit deep, but that's my weekend project, is to get a light hung up inside of that big building. Then I can start moving forward, because I need storage space. We're turning into hoarders, and it's not on purpose. I keep finding good deals, and I can't say no.
Yeah, my son popped in, Ethan. Thank you for stopping in. He's fueling. He's doing he's working right now, and I'm at his house. So he's working. I'm at his house. I'm holding the fort down, I'm holding the fort down. Let's see what else we got. We got this is a newer one. Let's see. Uh-oh. Karen Lester. Thank you so much for stopping by. Jason says it. Oh, yeah. I didn't know her name was Karen.
Yep.
Karen.
That's the other half of Good Water Pickers.
Mine's hanging out in the chat too. They can visit, I guess. Jason said he'd help me do some electrical. This electrical I'm doing is a little bit complicated because, well, it's not. It might be because I'm doing I'm doing like 2 sets of 4 outlets over the shipping table, one underneath where my desk is going to be going. I'm going to have 4 can lights over the shipping table, dimmable. Up on the eave is going to have a lighting, this on separate switch, and the other loft is going to have 3 can lightings. I'm going to have an exterior porch light and 1 up for parking. So it's kind of getting a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be 100 amp service. Talk to the electric company now, and they won't mount it to the side to treat it like a mobile home. So I guess I'm going to have to dig a freaking post hole in the dry soil with post hole diggers tomorrow. I want you to see.
Yeah.
Hands are not blistered yet. So
that's fun. I don't have a lot of codes where I live. They basically when I started building it, they said there's really no codes, just 5 feet from the property line. The only way I would need codes if and this is what they said verbatim, is when you start the project, if you intend to have electricity and an air conditioning unit and have it built for a business, then you need codes. Otherwise, you can build it, and then if I plan to turn it into a business later, I can deal with it then. So I thought, okay, well, as far as you know, today we're just building it to have to park the lawnmower under it. So, which is it's not too far from the truth. We built it because we wanted to buy a camper, but then started like getting real heavy back into reselling, and now I'm thinking of all the things I could do with it, and definitely I need to finish it for the space.
I'm trying to I'm still kind of I'm working the bugs out, Alex. He was griping about it earlier. At least I ain't locking up. Trying to get something up on my other screen. I did hold my chair over here.
Oh, that is Alex. I see Alex now on the Book Dust Media. That's the new handle.
Yeah, that's his new one. He said something earlier. It was kind of funny. I freaking missed it. Dang it. Where was it at? Something about he's just a book reader or something. Oh, he goes, here it is. He said, sales in the South have tanked, but what do I know? I'm just a reader.
I
Yeah,
hear you.
he needs to get some more freaking channels, kind of like Shane, Shane over there.
I need to do
Oh,
better on my primary channel. I think I could do more, but I don't. I haven't even got that far. I'm just trying to keep one video coming out a week with my 127 footage, and that's
yeah,
running slim.
absolutely. I'm kind of trying to read around here to see if we get anyone new popping. It looks like just our family, man. What's up with this? Let's see. We don't have a lot of people. It might be a weird night. I don't know. We'll make it work though, won't we? Where's
Yes,
Roman? Roman will pop in at the last minute, sucker, and Ben's probably sitting backstage doing something he's not supposed to be. And Shane ain't in there because I missed his last time. I tried. You kept getting.
your son said there's some smoked ribs in the fridge if you're hungry. I'd take him up on that.
Oh yeah, right there.
I
Smoked
think that's
ribs
a
in the fridge.
I think that's a parenting rule. Once you're done with the kids, if they offer you free food, that's automatic. I'm gonna eat that. It's
Oh
automatic.
jeez. Let's see. Everybody that's in here knows that I vape, so whatever. See?
That is great.
Just stop the camera. Well, let's see. You see anything else in there? You're kind of reading it too. You're a pretty good co-host.
My wife asked, "What is my best seller?"
Oh,
That's
here it
fair.
is. There you go.
That's fair. She doesn't know everything I sell because um she works. She has to drive to work still and in the office, and sometimes I sell things, and I'm not good at keeping her updated. So that's kind of on me right there. But
Right.
I think my best seller this week, I sold a golf club, a Callaway. Oh, I don't remember the name, but it was like it's a red one. It was about 5 or 6 years old, and I bought it at a yard sale in May, and I think I sold it on sale, discounted about $89. But the problem is I ship those UPS, and where my post office is about a minute and a half from my house, UPS I have to drive all the way in town, and it takes almost my entire lunch break. So it was a fiasco, but I don't mind because anytime I drive the UPS, I know it's a big sale because I only take big stuff there. So that's probably my best sell of the week, getting another golf club out of my closet. And I see, Chris, you asked how big my store is. I'll look that up. I've been looking
Yeah,
at it
I was gonna
this
say was talk
week.
about sales. If you want to present anything, if you know how to do that, I can do that for you, buddy. I'm going to show
Oh,
you
we'll
these.
get it.
This was kind of interesting deal. While you're
So
looking that up,
my total active listings right now is 1.9 thousand.
woo,
So just about 1,900 active sales, and that's on I do not the basic store, but the next level up, like the $20 a month, and I pay it on the annual fee. I didn't for the first year, but then I switched to the annual because I thought, well,
yeah,
you save 20 or $40, I think, if you pay for it 1 year at a time. So I went ahead and anything I can do to save a little money, it adds up at the end. But yeah, it's
so I got a question for you. Do you ever? I call it nuking your store. That's where you pull it down to zero, and then you put it back up.
no, I can't. I wouldn't disagree with the possible benefits, but I can't. I don't have that kind of time, and I don't have a. I don't. Hold on. Here we go. Sharpie.
It's supposed to be red.
I'm copying. Hold on.
I don't have any.
I got a red. I use that for my fragile when I write on my boxes. I'm copying Ben here. A year ago, so I got into this thing where I was changing my name. I used to be Drew's Sports Cards and Picks, and
Oh
then
yeah.
and then someone popped up on social media with the name Drew's Sports Cards, and they got caught Stilling at a, but they were a big YouTuber. So my name was very similar to them, and I started getting like negative stuff. This is when I first was like, I'm gonna do YouTube with it. So I changed it to T and Master Picks, but I never really. I kind of did it on the fly, and then so anyway, I got into this cycle where I had changed my name a couple of times, and I'm saying this because with eBay, I don't even know how to describe what happened, but I had an eBay store, like a paid for store, and I honestly think I was stuck on two servers because I would get emails. My hat straight. Oh, my OCD's kicking in. I would get emails that would say Drew's trading cards and picks, but then my store name was TN Master Pick, and then I'd get another set of emails that would, so like the stuff I was getting from eBay were using both names as if eBay had no idea what my actual store name was. And then during that time, my sales just took a dump. So last summer, I had to close my store, and then I had to change when I decided what I wanted my name to be, which was Goodwater Pickers. It's linked to my hometown and who I am.
Yeah.
It popped up on shoot, I can't think of it. It popped up on one of the sites where it gives you a value, and it said that name would be worth like $2,500 if I used it. I copied the whole scenario from NC Picker 80H Dave, because he was going on one of them sites and it would give a value to your social media name. So anyway,
Right.
but when I chose Goodwater Pickers, what I had to do was I had to end my paid for eBay store. I had to change my name to Goodwater Pickers, and then I had to wait, I think, 60 days. You have to wait 30 days for everything to reset, and then I think you have to wait another 60 days for all of your promotions to kind of fizzle out, and then that gives you a fresh start on eBay. And what that means is all the other names I had, someone else was free to use them, but
Okay.
I would move forward with Goodwater Pickers. Well, during that time, and I did it during the summer because slows are sell anyway, but when I tell you I sold nothing, I literally, it was like maybe one sell a day if I was lucky. And on the weekend, I might have a busy weekend, but it was usually like 4 or 5 the whole weekend. And that went on for 60 days.
Dang.
And it was because I kept changing my store name, couldn't decide, what I wanted. But once I got through all of that and was stuck with Goodwater Pickers, things started to ramp up basically like they did from the beginning. But yeah, it was, so that was a process.
It was a tough transition, pretty much, is what you're saying. Yeah,
Yep.
I used to sell on eBay before with a different store, and then now I got this one. I'm trying to build it some, and it's been a tough road. I mean, but it'll get done. Right now I think I'm averaging this week 2 to 4 today, or 2 to 5 a day. I don't know. I've had a couple of okay sales, but it's my 90 days running about a little bit under average. So
Yeah, no doubt.
yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, I like running the sales. If you hadn't tried it, like I just do the whole store across the board, 10% or 12%.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's a few things. There's always the things where I do free shipping and I might make 50 cents. And there's a few things where I'm like, crap, I really didn't want to sell that low. But for the most part, I'm selling a lot of things. I sell a lot of old things. That's things that have been listed a long time. A lot of that sells out. So, but yeah, and to Chris's point, that is exactly what you're going to change the name of your store or rebrand yourself. It's going to work very much like a regular business because rebranding can be a tough process. But yeah, it's tough. Don't change your name.
That's what Chris is saying. Don't change it. You can see that up there. And then I guess it's your wife. You
Yeah,
say, right, never change your
yeah.
name. If you do anything different, it affects you. I mean, can you imagine Walmart changing their name to something else? I could probably do it. But
Yeah.
Alex
It's tough.
says he changed his and he didn't see any changes.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. Like with mine, it was kind of stacked up because like a I went from not having I think it was where it messed me up is I started off not having a store, um, like not having a store at all. Then I changed my name and I opened a store, like the paid for basic, and
Yeah.
then I went from basic to the like the first level store, the $20 a month store, um, and then I had to basically back it all the way down to no store at all, and then there's like a 30-day, I don't know, like 30-day waiting period for that. And then if you change your name, I changed my name like 15 days later, and then that started the waiting period for the name change. So I ended up waiting at least 2.5 months before I opened a new store. But
Yeah. I could see how that would affect you, anytime you make a drastic change like that, because it did me. And I don't know. Anyway, we just
yeah,
move on and keep pushing forward. We got Chad Wolfman's Goodies is in the house. Hello, buddy. I seen you
what's
pop
up,
in.
Chad?
He is in there.
Chris asked if I accept offers. I do. Um, I'm a little cautious. Like if I do free shipping, I don't open up offers because I keep that puts you in a spot. I have to remember, and I found myself accepting offers and losing money. But basically everything that I have, I'll still accept offers. Um, and even if I run a store sale, I'll get, and this, it aggravates me, but I don't mind. I don't really mind the communication with people. But like this weekend, I have a 10% off sale, and I got like a nice pair of Jordans out there, and the guy sends me an offer, and he wants like another 30% off. I'm like, dude, they're already 10% off. Like
Right.
it's kind of a rare pair of. I have a rare set that I thrifted, and I have a lot of nice Jordans. They supposedly, I believe it because I know my source, but they were from the estate of like Dwayne Wade, and I have 3 or 4 pair of shoes that are Converse samples that have like they're stamped with Dwayne Wade, the basketball player.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to try to sell them on eBay because my source was like I got them from an auction in Ohio, and I think at one point he actually played for the Cavaliers. But and there's a story out on the American Picker show too, where he had went through a divorce and a bunch of his memorabilia and stuff got pushed out into the secondhand market. But anyway, there's a bunch of shoes in there, and they're all the same size. They all match his size. Um, anyway, there's a pair of Jordans in there that were the team. There were shoes it's like called a 12 point Jordan 12.5. They were issued
Yeah.
to basketball teams. But anyway, the guy he's like sends me his real low ball offer, and I'm like, we countered a few times, and finally I was like, this is what I'll take because I have Jordans in my store I've been sitting on for like a year. If they're real nice, I mean you can sell them for nothing or you can wait. They'll eventually sell. They always sell. I
all,
don't
all
mind.
those
Yeah.
all those have to go through authentication, right? I'm getting
So
tongue tied. Help me out, Andrew.
no,
But
I hear you.
they have to go through
Not all
eBay's
of them.
process.
Yep. So no, not all of them. And I've had to learn this. So there's my cha-ching. Anyway, so this pair of Jordans, because it is a 12 and a half team shoe, they don't have to be certified. Um, I had a pair of Air Force Ones that I got at a yard sale over the summer, and they were the custom Air Force Ones. The person worked for like AIG Insurance or something, and they bought all their insurance reps a pair of Air Force Ones. But because they're the custom Air Force Ones that are newer that you buy on your own, they didn't have to be authenticated. I sold them $30. and the
Right.
authentication price point is $75, but it generally is only going to apply to like vintage models, some of the ones that are easily faked, the ones that are basically non-custom or non-team shoes. Um, Trying to think, I have another pair, and I think I put them on Poshmark or Macari, but it's a pair of Jordan Air Force Ones, but they were not. I wish I could remember the name of them, but they have like a whistle on the side. But it was another Air Force One team shoe. They don't have to go through authentication, but I still didn't put them on eBay.
Right. So how far out do you go to find these shoes and whatnot? I mean, do you just in state, or do you travel out of state to source?
I pretty well stay in my area to source. Um, these shoes came from like my local hobby shop. He's a big thrifter, or used to be a big thrifter, and then he opened like a brick and mortar store. So it came from his storage, but he bought them back in the day. Um, and you can find him on like TikTok. I got to give a shout out. It's my guy, but it's New Wave Hobbies. They also do like our poker league and stuff. He does a
Right.
ton of stuff, but he always finds just different things that he'll sell in his store. And he knows some of us that go in there are resellers, so he'll find things that appeal to us. He'll get a good deal. And like I've been going in, a big thing lately is buying like model airplanes, vintage model airplanes. And he got a huge lot. His store's lined with them. Well, I go in and I'm just, man, give me as many as you can for like, $50. And I've never
Yeah.
sold them, but I've started putting them in my store and I'm starting to sell them. I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. It's a good deal. So, but
That,
yeah, I try to stay local. I mean, yard
that sounds
sales
like
are, yeah,
a honey hole to me. I mean, I was gonna say I got Phil Five Dime in the house. Hello, buddy.
yeah, he
We
does.
got Ping G. Says hello, gents. And we also have the famous Mary McQueen. Hello, Mary. Thank you for
Hey,
tuning
Mary.
in. So anyway, back to your honey hole. We we're not that lucky here. I mean, it's tough. This is tough here. And I thought I had a real good pick I was going to go on, and the guy ended up, he wants the top dollar for it. Took 2 weeks for him to get it ready. He goes, well, it's finally ready. What did you do? Did you cherry pick it? He was going through every freaking box, pulling out all the good stuff. I was ready the next day when I found this thing, that was going to, I said something about it on a video. Nope, 2 weeks later, finally ready. I said, I'm not interested. Sorry.
Yeah, sometimes it happens that way. I mean, you get that sentimental feature, and I mean that's one thing in the thrifting world. Of course, this week we saw that American Pickers died. I love that show, and one thing I love about that show is that they really highlight the fact that people have sentimental value with things,
Yep.
and I feel like they taught me to see that and to kind of back off or to handle it, because sometimes you can still talk your way into a deal if if you make the person realize that, or as I say, play counselor, and you make the person realize that they're holding on to it for the wrong reason. But that's a touchy space, because you can also piss someone off and then they don't ever want to call you back. But the good thing is you walked away, and that person might call you back when they finally realize that the amount of love they have for that stuff and the amount of love they have for their bank account aren't matching up quite right, and that you're willing to pay that money. So,
Yeah,
you
that's a
know,
real thing.
maybe,
People are really
maybe it'll
attached.
work out.
They're really attached to stuff. That is a real
Yeah.
thing. And it happens all the time. Everybody that's in here that picks knows this. And you go over and they want top dollar for it. I mean, this above retail sometimes. And you're thinking,
Yeah.
I just can't do it, and here's my number. If you want to call me later.
I do that at estate sales a lot, because estate sale companies, they try to, and I have to, I mean, I've never been in that, in that level on the estate sale, but I have to assume then in some cases they've talked to the family, they feel that love for the items, and they're trying to make the most money they can. So a lot of times, especially first couple of days, they're charging way too much money. Then you come in, like we have a couple of state sale companies that we follow, and we don't even go the first day. And the reason we don't is there's two reasons. One, we're 100% sure they're overpriced the first couple of days, and there's going to be a ton of crap no one's going to buy. So we're not even worried about going and seeing what it is. We'll show up on Sunday, the last day, knowing that they're ready to make deals. And 8 times out of 10, we go into the house is still packed full of stuff, and I just start filling a box up. I'll come up and I'll set a big box down and say, tell me what you give me for everything in this box. And usually they'll take the steps and they'll price it all up. But then, like, they're going to, like, if it's, say, 60% off day, a lot of times they'll pull it down to like 75% off. If they recognize us, and we do that a lot. There's a lot of state sale groups where they know us by name, and we stick to them. And there's a bartering agreement there. We don't speak of it. It's closed mouth. But when they start adding stuff up, you can see people kind of looking over your shoulder like, hey, I was going to pick that up. That's not the price I saw. And I'm just like, they're bad at math. Don't worry about it. Shut up.
So do you have any deals worked out? Some of the estate sale people that runs your local estate sales, do you have something worked out? Say they run their estate sale, they got all this stuff left over. Do you have an option of maybe buying them out, what's left, or do you do that?
Not yet, but I have been working that angle. My problem is, and I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the next phases in our business model, and I think what will get me to the spot of being a full-time reseller, I guess I'm a retailer too, but to be a full-time reseller, one of the things I want to do in the direction I want to go is to buy a enclosed trailer, so that, because I mean, most of the time I could rent a U-Haul if I wanted to, but I've been asking estate sale companies in my area, like, what do you do when this is over? Here, like, because we'll show up places late and I'll say, what are you going to do in 3 hours when the signs come down? And they're like, we got companies we have to hire to come in and they have different levels. It's a full cleanup, it's a buyout, and they clean it up. If you agree to clean everything up, if you know what that even means, I'm still trying to learn what that means. But a lot of times they'll tell you, you come in, you take everything, we're not going to charge you anything, but you manage the labor, you get everything out of the house, you vacuum the floors, you clean. I'm not a big cleaner, so I don't think I'm going to go that level. But
so, do you think that they would expect you to clean it? I mean, I know you're going to move everything out and pick the boxes up and whatnot, but do you think they'd expect you to go in and vacuum the house? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I've been learning, is that there's a couple different levels. One level where you could get everything for free, but then you take over all the labor. And then another level where you just make an offer. And I've kind of learned a lot of those places, when they're done, it's like 100% goodwill donations. Because I've asked them, like, well, what will be a good offer? And they've told us, like, you'd be shocked at, because it's literally your offer versus your offer of the labor of packing it all up and taking it, versus we pack it all up and we drop it off at the Goodwill and no one makes a dime. And they said you'd be surprised at how low of an offer people will take. And sometimes it's up to the company. Sometimes it's up to the family of what they're willing to take. But we've kind of learned that there's a shortage, and there's a shortage of people in our area willing to do that. And we've also learned that the people that are willing to do that are typically associated with thrift stores and like that have 100 people renting booths. But they say that the thrift store owners will come in, they'll buy out an estate sale, and then they'll market all of that stuff to the people that are renting space inside of their thrift store. And it's just like a horde. They come in and grab, like, this is my niche, I'll take this, I'll take that. And
Yeah.
then store owners, they typically have five or six booths set up anyway in their own thrift store. So it's really opened my eyes to the opportunity, but it is a little bit overwhelming. But I'm glad you asked that though, because that's our next step is to try to get an enclosed trailer so that I can start. I already have my business cards made up where I can market myself as I'm going to do cleanouts for estates and things like that. And I've
Right.
been trying to work those connections a little bit.
Yeah, I think that would be a good deal. It might be a little bit of work, and them trailers, they're not cheap, buddy. I already
Oh,
looked at them.
no, I mean, I'll tell you what, the cheapest one we found is close to our house. We can get a 16-foot enclosed trailer for about $8,500.
Wow.
So if you're hearing numbers bigger than that, you come visit. I'll hook you up. I know a guy, but it's all over the place. Everyone, I know y'all were in Dixon for an overnight stay. If you drive down that main highway, there's about 5 places within a mile of where y'all are staying when you came to the 127,
Yeah.
where they got a whole parking lot full of trailers, and almost all of them are selling a 14 to 16-foot trailer for close to 16, not 16, like $14,000, I think. But there's one little spot that they get them wholesale, and they're selling them for about 8,000. You really wouldn't think about it because it's not what they do. They had empty parking lot space and started selling trailers.
So
But
are they used or new trailers? Or probably used ones.
no, these are brand new. Yeah,
Brand
they
new.
no, they're brand new, 16-foot. The only thing, they're not wired. Um, most of them, they don't. Some trailers, you got like the metal strip down the side and in the floor where you can attach like ratchet straps. They don't have a lot of that. They're triangular in the front, so you have that space isn't counted in the square foot. But I mean, they're nice. You can get them in white, black. I think if you want gray or a different color, it costs about 500 more bucks. But you know,
So
Roman
that's one
Roman's
reason
here.
that. Yeah, I know. I was going to say Roman's in there. I put it up there. He said, Andrew, instead of reselling, won't you become a full-time content creator? You make more money. Well, that's a lie, Roman.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm trying that. I do have my YouTube channel, and I think if I
You know,
went full time, I would be a lot better at YouTube. Like, I have a lot of fun with YouTube.
yeah, it'll help a little bit. I mean, but you're not going to get rich off it. But do it because you like it and it's fun. Just like chatting with your friends, and I enjoy that more than anything. If something comes up, it later it does, and that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, we found a Harley Davidson trailer a couple weeks ago at a yard sale, but my truck was broke down. My starter went out in my truck, and I actually just got it fixed this week. And I told the lady, I said, I can't even come get it if I offer you money right now. And I text her, was it yet Tuesday or when? I think it was yesterday.
Yeah,
I sent her a text, or it was Tuesday. I sent her a text on Tuesday and said, hey, do you still have it was a 14-foot Harley Davidson enclosed. And she's like, no, it's sold. But her house was right next door to our town's largest um, lawnmower repair business. So
yeah.
they basically take care of all of the people in town who need a trailer. So I thought there's no way in hell that trailer is going to 2 weeks, because there's 2 or 3 businesses right around her that are like subcon. And I thought there's no way in the world that's going to be available, and it was gone. So, but I check all like auctions. There's a lot of auction companies. If someone's interested in like getting a trailer to grow their business, there's a ton of auction companies. If you go out and look at them, I mean, we've been to some auctions and seen there was one I got really mad because it was probably a $25,000 race car trailer, 20
Right.
foot. We drove out in the middle of nowhere to find this. This person had a race car trailer, and then they had like basically a, what do you call it, like a UPS truck that they had chrome wrapped. So they basically put chrome sheet metal all the way around it, fully restored it. The chrome wrapped UPS truck sold to a company to like a food truck company for $6,000. And I thought,
Dang.
okay, well, the trailer's got to be less because the damn truck was running in pristine condition. So I got up to bid on the trailer, and we started in like the $2,000 range for this race car trailer. And the owner of the auction come up and was like, $4,800. Hell, I'll pay more than that. Come on. And everyone got mad. Like all of us that were bidding just walked off. We just left, and then I think it ended up selling for like $6,000. But I've been to several auctions where they had a lot of enclosed trailers. That's kind of a popular thing with estate auctions. So
Well, Jason says find
yeah,
an enclosed horse trailer pretty cheap. Is what Jason said. That's what I have. We bought it. It wasn't cheap. It was a steel horse trailer, so it's heavy, but it's not enclosed fully.
yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Get a bigger one for cheaper. That gooseneck we got, it's a 3-horse slant, and it's got a freaking tack room and all that up in the front. And I don't know. Barb, chime in if you remember what we paid for that. I don't remember. On a gooseneck, obviously, you're going to have a truck to pull it. But we got the disgruntled octopus in the house. He says, morning humans. He's a day ahead and a few hours short or late.
Yeah.
I think, what is this? This is Thursday. It's Friday over there. And then it is in the morning. So he's like a day. It's 24 hours. So he would be 30 hours difference, right? Yeah, something like that.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah. I'm going to have him on the show eventually if I can work something out.
Yep.
Let's see. Is there anything going on you're seeing I'm missing here? I'm kind of behind on chats.
I can show and tell real quick.
Yeah, do
Just
that.
I
Let's
like
see
to
what you
brag.
got.
But if you follow me on Facebook and I think Instagram, over the weekend we had some plans that got rained out, and there was in Nashville they have a sports card and autograph show on the last weekend of September every year. It's sponsored by kind of a local card shop, and I actually got an opportunity. It was kind of last minute. I waited the last minute because sometimes people cancel. But the big one for this show was Mike Tyson. He actually flew in and did a autograph segment, and it was kind of interesting because he basically everyone's in line waiting on him. He walks in the front door. He gets on a golf cart. They took him to part of the arena. He was wrapped around. They had this thing boxed off, so you couldn't get a picture, or you basically couldn't even see him unless you paid money if you had a ticket. So, but I got to do a photo op with Mike Tyson. But
That's cool.
a few years ago during the pandemic, there was a local thrift store, and she still does a couple flea market shops. But she had an original copy of Mike Tyson's Punch Out, had the box, had the letter, and I just saw this. I knew he was going to be here for a couple of months, but it's like $150 just to get a signature.
Yeah.
I'm a thrifter, so I don't want to spend $5 on shit. So, I really kicked around, but I thought he's kind of a West Coast guy, and this may be the only opportunity that I actually get to see that. But this is my original copy. Let me get out in front of my camera. Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Oh yeah.
And I actually got his autograph on that. And then there was a lot of, I say this, but it's true. Like there were a lot of people there getting the cartridge, like the game cartridge autographed, like across the cartridge, but no one had the box. And when I look on eBay, apparently the fact that I have the original box is extremely rare. And people were starting to get, I felt people lurking, like, oh my God, you have the box? And then I was like, yes, I have the box. And then I talked with this guy that was a video game guru, because also it has the letter that came in it. And I've always liked video games, but I don't know a lot about them. And he was helping me like like prove that it was original. And he was saying, even if you're a video game guru, like the little foam piece that goes in a box, people lose this and they put like a newer piece of foam in it. And he said you can tell this is the real foam because it shrivels up and you have a certain amount of space. Well, we sat right there I sat there with this guy at the PSA booth where I was getting it authenticated, and I got that. I'll show that because everything costs money, but I got my PSA authentication. That was like an extra
cool.
$15. But like he said, the way that this foam fits in the box with room around it, you can tell that it's original. But
See,
me and that guy,
that's all foreign material to me.
It is like I've always played video games, but I've never. And this was probably one of my. I told my wife a story where a neighborhood kid had the Nintendo growing up, and he had this video game. And we would go to the house, and his parents weren't very. This was back in the like very early '90s. His parents would be in the other room watching like dirty movies, and we'd be in his room playing the video game. And all I could say is that to tell the story today, you would think that people were in jail, but I have a specific memory of just being like, we're in the room with people saying, "Stay in that room, don't come out here," at a friend's house and playing this game. And I never had a Sega Genesis growing up.
Well, Alex says now to get it graded.
Well, I've been thinking that I've never had a game graded, but I'm actually thinking about grading it. It's not in great, like pristine condition, but when I look on eBay, there's maybe like 2 or 3 people that have it with the box autographed. So, but I really just love it for my personal collection, and I've been holding on to it for a couple of years. And then when I found out that Tyson was coming to this area to do autographs, it was just a no-brainer. I had to try to get it. So I did that, and then I did a photo op. I did the photo op with my Goodwater Pickers shirt. And it's funny because if you saw me at the 127, you may realize this, but my logo was on the back of the shirt. Well, I turned my shirt around and wore it backwards so that the logo would be on the front when I did the photo op. It probably doesn't matter, but in my mind, if I continue,
it was backwards.
Yeah, if I grow a business, this could be a cool moment that I could share on social media or YouTube. It's having a Goodwater Pickers photo op with Mike Tyson. So I put my shirt on backwards so that I could get my shirt, like our logo, in the photo.
Yeah.
That's just like quick thinking. Like, how can I make this experience better? And I say that for others because a lot of times when you're reselling, you put a lot of that thought into just selling products, but you don't always think about growing yourself, growing your business. I know a lot of resellers that they're like, "I'm not a business. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a business." And I'm like, "How much money did you make last year?" I don't know about y'all. I'm part-time. My job's demanding, and I don't put in nearly as many hours a week reselling, but when I look at, the IRS says I didn't make crap last year. That's how we want it, right? We don't want the IRS to think we made crap. But the truth of the matter is I made more money reselling last year working about 15 hours a week than I did at my first job as an adult.
Yeah.
It took hard work to get there, but it wasn't like super hard work. So when I see people reselling, they're pulling in 30, 40 grand a year, and then they're saying, "I'm not a business. I'm just a little guy."
Oh yeah.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not little, dude. Like, no one makes that kind of, like, there's people out there right now. I look at like my sons and my kids and like the economy, and like, man, like I probably made as much money as you reselling, but it's not easy. But I just, a lot of people don't think that much into it. They don't put a lot of that thought into what is my future. And I hate to keep quoting ADH Dave, but I know that they do a lot for like the reseller locker room, and they promote on the Trash to Cash
Yeah.
sometimes. ADH Dave said something about 2 months ago in one of the videos. He said there's two chains of thought. There's the idea of, are you doing? My wife said something funny. I got to get to that. They said, are you
Is it
doing
on here?
something? Yeah. Well, no, she's in the other room hollering at me. ADH Dave said there's two chains of thought here. Are you doing this for yourself, just to support your family and your own needs,
Right.
or would you like to be doing this to support other people's family and other people's needs? And if your vision is to have a business where you could have even one employee, one person helping you, then how's that affect your feedback score? Like if you get a negative feedback and you have 4 or 5 employees helping you, that impacts their life, right?
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, and when he said that, that really put into perspective how I've felt the whole time. I don't think small, even though I'm doing it part time, and even though
Yeah.
it's a very level mind. I'm just business minded. I'm not putting in all this work because I want to work for the man for the rest of my life. I'm putting all this work because I want to detach myself from corporate America, and I want to be a full-time reseller, but also have a good life. Or, even if I'm just taking care of myself, I don't necessarily want to give up everything that I've worked for 20 years. So I
Right.
have to keep that mindset of, I'm doing this to support me, but I may want to support others. I'd like to have a couple of employees. So
Now, I've never asked you this, but do you have any children or?
I do. I have a son and a stepson, and I have 4 grandchildren, 2 granddaughters, 2 grandsons. Yeah,
All right. So,
yeah.
so are they interested in reselling at all, or are they following kind of in like the footsteps you're wanting, or the direction you're wanting to go?
Not really. My son is he works for the Pipe Fitters Union, and he's working through his apprenticeship. He actually just got his weld certification, and
Oh,
but I'll say at the same time, we were talking about wages, and well, my dad was a union man. He worked for the railroad, so he was part of like EBW, and he used to tell us, "Oh, you'd give your left nut to work for the union." And well, I listen to my son. He tells me like how much money he's guaranteed to make salary after like 4 years once he gets his like full journeyman, and it's a lot more than me. And I'm like, damn, like that's and I don't, it's tough. Like I think about it, and I'm like, well, you're welding. Well, the first 10 years that I worked, I was in an automotive factory, and I didn't get a welding certificate. They threw me on a MIG welder and said, figure it out.
so
So like,
here, turn it up.
yeah, I can do a perfect MIG weld as long and as straight as you want it. He calls it an X-ray weld, and I'm like, well, crap, I can do that. That was just a little piece of my first ever job, and then I went through school and kind of went into something different. But it's eye opening to know like what some of the, I say kids, but what some of our kids are able to accomplish, and versus us, being like I just turned 44, so uh, man, and I still have to work for the next 40 years. Well, I'm pretty quickly coming to the conclusion that I'm not really where I want to be, and I've always wanted to work for myself. So I'm really, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this,
Well,
because I love it, but it's also something I could see myself doing and being able to do on my own. And I want
yeah,
to make that reality true.
and that's on the horizon for you. I mean, as long as you keep that mindset and keep moving forward towards your goals, I think you can achieve it easily. Myself, I'm retired, so I got a check every month, and then so that helps a little, if it gets slow and those things. But I love to resell, and that's why I'm doing the shed, because I want to have that drive. I got to get out of that house and go somewhere to work. I feel better if I'm going to work somewhere. You understand? And when I'm
Absolutely.
waking up and I'm living in the same place and I get distracted and this needs done and this needs done and I'm OCD and that's crooked and it never stops. I got to leave to go work. That's just me.
Yeah. No, that's no doubt. I feel like I would be closer to that when I started. I wish I'd have just bought another shed, but back during the pandemic, we were like getting random paychecks for no good reason, and I thought, well, damn, go out and spend all this, or I could invest. Well, I've always wanted to have a big garage, and I thought we're going to start building this garage, and I was watching YouTube videos. I've built a few things on my own, and it was it was fun. Well, then I forget how it ended up happening, but it was basically all I can say is the barn ended up being the pole barn is what I was building, and it inadvertently ended up being about 4 feet taller than what it was supposed to. Well, yeah, well, I'm no construction worker, and I'm not real great at math. But if you intend to build like a 40-foot by 24-foot garage, and you accidentally build it 4 foot taller than it's supposed to be, that equates to several thousand extra dollars in supplies and materials. Well, then supplies and materials shot through the roof. So that really slowed me down. Like this thing would have been done 2 or 3 years ago, but I accidentally built it 4 foot too tall, and I thought, well, whatever. I'll just make it tall, and we'll have a loft. Well,
Yeah.
then I start looking at, well, all of my sheets of metal have to be longer. Your wood has to be longer. Everything has to be, you got to get. Yeah, it turned into a hot mess, but at the end of the day, it's coming to a conclusion.
We got Shane Soda City Flips is in the house. He stopped
There we
by and
go.
said, "Hey y'all, sorry I'm late. I was recording a video and working on my other 16 YouTube channels." He didn't say that.
Well, Shane, missed, I think it was exciting as I showed. You may have saw this on my Facebook, but this weekend I got to do a photo op with Mike Tyson, and I got him to sign my sealed my original copy of Punch Out, which is like the 3-screw. It has the letter to the kids, which by itself is I think worth like $100. We got everything else, so I made a last minute decision to I basically used all my eBay funding from the week to do that photo op and get that. So yeah, that's definitely a PC collection there.
So where's the signature at? Is it on the inside of that cover?
Nope,
That's
that's
what I want to see. I'm going to blow you up. Show me the signature. Oh, that's it right there.
Yeah, that's the silver one.
Man, that looks good on there because it matches like it was made that way. I like that.
Yeah, he had handlers. Like he was down for the photo op. He was sitting down and they were rushing. I mean, he wasn't there 2 hours, and man, God, he made some money. He was signing things like 3 at a time. They had people blocking. I think my wife got in like one cell phone picture when we were walking back through because they did the photo op through one side of the tent, and when that's done, they started the autograph line. And I mean, he went through 100 autographs in probably 15 minutes. He wasn't there 2 hours. They wheeled him out in a golf cart. He got in a big SUV and drove off. I mean, it was an in and out deal. But there had to be 500 people getting photos and another, 400 or 500 people getting autographs, and it was in and out. It's crazy.
Yeah, my son says, keep it going another 30 minutes. That must mean he's about 30 minutes out. He don't want me to eat all his food. Oh, John. No, we could. I mean, he's probably got stuff to do, but if not, I mean, I don't care. I don't mind chatting.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing some of that stuff.
My wife wants me to bring up this, that I got to meet Mike Tyson, and to me that was like a highlight of my life. For her, this was another thing, and she thinks this is just as good as meeting Mike Tyson, and I guess it's a girl thing. I'll try to show this on my cell phone, but she got to hold a baby kangaroo for a significantly cheaper price.
Hang on, let me blow it up, and you can we can see it better. Here you go.
Yeah.
That's
So that was the highlight of that. That was at the sports car autograph show, but this was like a local like petting zoo. But that's her holding a kangaroo. And,
so.
In her
That's
opinion,
a baby.
Yeah, that's a Joey, 8 months
crazy.
old, and it was they had to keep him wrapped up. They said if they let him out, he would basically jump. He would probably jump out of the arena even at that age. But that was equivalent to shaking hands with Mike Tyson.
I bet Octo, if he's still in there, he's got kangaroos jumping around his house.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, he's in here, and the grumpy granny probably. I don't know if she watches or not, but
I watched a couple people that are in Australia, and I've actually seen a couple videos where like a kangaroo is hopped through like a business district. I guess it's kind of like
in here.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like deer here. I don't know. I have no idea.
We got deer, man. And it's that time of the year, so anyone that lives in deer-infested country, you better start looking because they're going to be jumping.
Yeah, I hit a deer last year. I almost lost my truck. I had to. Yeah, so now I'm driving like if I go out at night, it's 20 miles per hour. I don't give a crap. I'm not hitting another deer. We've had bad luck, but
I hit, let's see, it was the year before last or maybe 3 years ago, I had 3 run across. Well, the mama and there's like 2 babies, and I hit the 3rd baby. And it still smashed the bumper on that Super Duty. It smashed it plumb back to the freaking way. I mean, it's a lot of money to fix. Luckily, I had full coverage. And then Barb hit one, and her Dodge going to work at 3:30 in the morning or 4. So it messed that bumper up. And, yeah, we got deers running all over, man.
They're everywhere. They're diseased here too, so like the hunters can't control the population. So
I think we should be able to.
Shane said he had a Central Carolina trouser snake, so you got to watch out for those too.
Oh, I see it. He didn't like spiders, but he picks up snakes. All of you guys, I think he might have locked up, but all of you guys that was on the locker room, that was a good show. I enjoyed it, minus the commercials. Hey, I think Andrew just locked up, but if he did, Andrew, you can bump out or I can bump you out and you can come right back and it should be kosher. I'll keep this sucker going. What else we got in the chat here? We got, Big Dust Media. Man, Alex, I still ain't got used to it, buddy. Flip for laughs. He says, he always got something goofy to say. That one-eyed trouser browser's killer. Oh, good grief. Oh, jeez. I think he lost his connection, everybody. Who wants to jump in here and keep this ball rolling? I might keep it going for a little bit longer since he said there he is. He's back.
Oh, there we go. I'm back.
There he's back.
Man, that was weird. My wife must be using the internet again.
It's all good, brother. Ramon's got a long comment. Can we even read all that? That's like a book. You write novels? Shane said that he takes a bag with snakes to garage sales, and if there's competition, he opens the bag, puts snakes on the ground next to the competition so they run away. Andrew is locked up again. He must be having one of them nader or some kind of wind residuals off that hurricane. Oh, we're talking about Ben. I like Ben jokes. Who's got a Ben joke? Ben. Alex says Ben steals it all and takes them out to dinner. Okay, I must have missed something before that. Are you losing service, Andrew?
It looks like
that's real glitchy.
It's kind of acting up. Yeah, it's definitely in and out.
Well, let's see, 8, 10. Are you Central?
Yes.
Okay, so your Central Time, all the gamers are starting to game about
That's
8 o'clock.
Yeah, probably them damn neighborhood kids firing up their internet.
Tell your wife to call the neighbors and tell them to get off the freaking thing so we can talk. Oh, boy. All right. We're going to have to do something creative here. Yes, we will. And y'all's going to love this one because I know somebody will help us out. Well, it was only going to be an hour, but I don't mind staying a minute. I had to go get something else to whip my whistle with. I'll put the link down there in the chat. Somebody wants to jump in because we won't be on here much longer and say hello to Andrew. I'm sure we'll get him straightened out. He's kind of glitching a little bit. But I can hold the fort down. I'll kind of keep an eye out for him to come back. We are 1 hour and 10 minutes and 43 seconds into this show, which is the longest I've ever run, I think. I might have run over. I don't know. Oh, here, I like this one. Soda City Flips Shane says, the funny thing is that Ben's Cougars are 87 years old. Is he dating that old? Ben, stop it. Okay, he's back.
There we go.
I see him for a minute, maybe. It works and then it doesn't work. That's all great. Ben,
I switched browsers. Let me see.
Might be something to do with that. We'll hold the fort down, buddy. Ben likes saber-toothed tigers. The older, the better. So, wait a minute. Ben likes crusty stuff? Maybe that was incorrect, but I don't know. Giving you a hard time, Benno. Crusty. Crusty and tigers and cougars, does that go together? Oh, shoot. Hey, Barb, bring me a beverage. Nobody's jumped in. He's still having problems. We could listen to some music. No, let's don't do that. If we can't get him straightened out, nobody wants to jump in, we might have to call it a night here in a minute. I'll hold the fort down for a second. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to back up in the chat because I missed a lot of stuff. We read Roman's comment. Anybody have any questions about? Oh, he borrowed. I like that one. He borrowed Roman's internet, and I missed you earlier. Thank you for stopping by. Is he moving? Nope, he's still locked up. He's having a lot of technical difficulties. Shane, are you having any problems with your internet services? Oh, here, his wife says, hey, wifey poo. You'll see what Andrew's doing. I can't get him to come back on. He's locked up. Looks like my internet. Are you sure you're not on Usenet? Well, heck, since we're just goofing around here, let's see. I got something I can show. I'll wait till he starts moving down there on the backstage. We're going to share a screen here. I'm going to share this one, and I'm going to show you what I just sold. Okay, this is a lot of 100 1960s 9-ounce Coca-Cola diamond logo Dixie paper vending cups with the protector in the box. And they had them listed originally way up there, hoping to get that. Well, the unicorn customer didn't come along, so I actually lowered the price to $119.95. Ended up taking a best offer for, I think I knocked about $10 off of it. So that went out, I think, the end of this week, something like that. But anyway, not bad. We had a quarter in that. We got 13 in here. Let's see if anything new's going on in the chat. Next live, Wood should play that axe on the wall behind him. Oh, he's talking about this one right here. That's a Schecter. Matter of fact, that's a nice guitar. I don't play guitar, I play bass. We got those around here too. There's one over here you can't see. Got the window showing. Hey, check this out. This is actually a man cave. I'll get me readjusted there. Oh, we got some people in here. Look at there. We got Ping in there.
Hello.
Ping G, what's up, homegirl?
Hey, Shane, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay. The last screen, I couldn't see where it says enter the studio.
we got everybody in here now. We just was trying to kind of get it line ironed out, and Andrew's having problems, but we're all here, and thank y'all for coming on.
Is it Andrew? Are you back?
Is he
Nope.
back?
Kinda.
He's back. Shane, you look like you're on a freaking short. Turn it.
Yeah, I'm hanging out on my back deck.
That we could see him.
Oh, that's why there's no light?
Yeah, it's kind of dark out here. I got one little light out here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's all good. We can handle as many people as wants to come in. So, Ping, what's new with you?
Not a whole lot. I
Doing
started
any
to
good?
have raccoons in the backyard.
You got raccoons.
Yes. It started with one. He would come by every once in a while to eat the cat food. And I have it on top of a patio table. And I moved it away from the wall, thinking it'll make it harder for anybody to jump up there. Because I had possums, and they're a lot smaller.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen them lately.
Well, we got possums. We got about everything. We do not have raccoons out in Oklahoma where we live. But we got every other freaking animal. I don't know how many skunks we've relocated.
Yeah, but I'm right in the city. They shouldn't be around here.
They like you.
I mean, I think there's 300,000 people in Anaheim.
Oh, Anaheim. Got to pardon my little drag there. I try to bleep it out, but sometimes I don't do very good.
Oh,
what are you doing up there, Shano?
What's up?
So how's your other channels going?
Doing good, man. I just had a freaking TikTok go over 210,000 views.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I got you would think so on TikTok it takes 10,000 followers
Yeah.
to get monetized. You would think out of over 200,000 views that I would get at least close to 10,000 followers. I got about 50. It is tough to get people to follow you on TikTok. Unless you're doing something stupid like pranking people and
I don't
stuff like
mess
that.
with TikTok, and maybe I should. It kind of would. It might help, but I just don't mess with TikTok. I don't have time, man.
Hey, buddy.
Now, Ping, she probably has time to do everything, don't you?
Oh, I do keep busy.
You keep busy. Are you full time or part time? I don't think I've ever asked you.
Well, I was full time at one point. I retired in 2015. I got rid of my warehouse 4 years ago. And everything is in the house now, but I'm just not motivated to list.
Right.
Because I don't have that rent on the warehouse. You know, when you have to pay $1,200 a month, yeah, it makes you want to sell more.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
But since I don't have to pay that anymore, and my house is paid for, you know.
You know, I think a lot of us goes through the stage where we either suffer burnout or we got something else going on, and it's hard to regroup and get yourself back on track. Like when my wife had knee surgery, that's really thrown me off. And then I got the shed I'm trying to fix, and I got so much going on. It's hard for me to mentally keep focused on my eBay or Mercari or whatever I'm doing. So I'm sure some other people feels that way. Andrew, are you working again? He's locked up. I think he locked up.
So.
Yep.
He's not moving.
No, he's not moving. Should I kick him off? There we go. I'm watching now. Look, as soon as I kick him off, he starts moving. So, Shane, what else do I not know about you that's recent besides, well, I watched The Locker Room this morning. Commercials suck, but other than that, I love the show. Y'all keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, man. We appreciate everybody who watches.
I watched it too.
Thank you, Ping.
So I think most of the people that's in here watches. I think I'm showing 12 or something. We're probably fixing to jump off here in a minute. So, Ping, where do you live? You said
Anaheim.
Anaheim.
I'm just north of Disneyland.
North of Disneyland. Do you go to Disneyland, or do you have grandchildren or children that you take?
I used to work there.
You work
there?
That's
Oh, nice.
Yes, 20 years.
20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a lot better than driving semi-trucks like I did. We have Bama Jaybird just popped in and said, "What's up, guys? Sorry I'm late." Yeah, you're late.
What's
about
up,
20 minutes, 21 minutes late. We'll stay on here as long as everybody wants to talk. So I put the link in there, Josh, if you wanted to jump on for a minute. I'm not going to be on here much longer. I'll give it another 9 minutes or so, and I'm going to have to get off. I was trying to give my son time to come home. Maybe he wants to say something to everybody.
Woody, you're in Oklahoma?
We're in Oklahoma.
So that's 2 hours. So it's almost 8:20 there?
It's 8:22 according to this one. My phone says, yep, 8:20.
Yeah, because it's 9:22 here.
Yeah.
Dang, Shane's up late.
I got 8 minutes till my bedtime.
Man, how old are you? You're going to bed at 8:23, 9:23 your time.
Yeah, but I get up at 5, so I'm 40. I'm almost 45.
Are you?
Yeah.
Let's see. We're in October, right? 10/3. The 20th of this month, I'll be 52.
You guys are young.
Wow. They've been telling me that for 20 years. Wait till you get my age. You're going to hurt worse. Yeah.
I can't see the doggone comments on my phone unless I click on. I gotta go hunt them down. That's kind of silly.
Yeah, I'm just kind of really. Bama Jaybird, he said, "What's up, guys? Sorry I'm late." There's really not a lot going on. Everybody's saying hi and hi, Bama.
I forgot to click on comments. Now I can see them.
She can see now.
Yeah. I like StreamYard better than that. What's that? EV Mux?
Well,
I'm switching to EV Mux starting Monday night.
the price. Hey, listen, StreamYard doubled its prices. Now I had paid already. I just paid for a year, so I'm good.
You'll be good for a year then.
Yeah.
Mine expires on the 6th. So what's that, Sunday? So I'm going to go ahead and switch to EV Mux.
Man, it's freaking crazy. What's it, like 40 something a month and 400 and what a year? I don't know what.
It's definitely a lot cheaper if you pay for the year. So if you've got the funds to go ahead and do it, that's the cheaper way to do it. Then I would just stick with StreamYard. But I was paying monthly, so I'm just going to change to EV Mux. EV Mux is a little bit different, like Ping said. In my show the other night, the comments are on the left-hand side, so it's kind of weird. It's just kind of difficult to get used to because you've been using StreamYard for so long. Yeah. But they have a lot more options. They have sound effects and music and backgrounds and all kinds of cool stuff that you can tap into. And I thought that was kind of cool. So,
okay, Andrew's sitting back here. I think he's going again. I just looked. Can we hear you?
So.
There he is.
It
What's
says
up, Andrew?
Williams, whiskey, and Mountain Dew Zero.
I got Buffalo Trace in there. I don't have any Evan Williams.
I'm just drinking a beer.
My wife just opened the door and told me to shut up. I guess I'm being loud.
Let's see. Everybody's just kind of talking in the chat. Who can't see it? Shane's the only one that can't see the chat, right?
Yeah, because I'm on my phone like a dummy. But
So-
it's nice outside. It's like 70 degrees. I wanted to hang out on the porch for a little while before bed, so
So
I'm not bringing my computer.
how hot was it there today, Shane? I mean, it
Like
was like 95 or 8 here.
Yeah, it was like 87 here.
Oh.
It was hot. I was sweating.
Yeah, me too.
So Bama Jaybird says that they do the yearly plan for 2 old guys on the StreamYard.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot cheaper to go that route. If you've got the money to do it, that's definitely the best go.
That's
Oh.
what's nice with eBay. You can sign up for the yearly, but you don't pay it in one lump sum.
Right.
No, you pay the reduced price monthly.
Yeah.
Too bad they don't do that with StreamYard. You know?
Yeah.
Chris says that Easy Pickens says that Andrew's connection does not like the 4 feeds. Does that seem maybe? Well, there was 2 earlier, and it was having problems. So I don't know if that's the situation or not.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. But
Okay.
Woody, I'm going to jump off here and get ready for bed, man. But I just wanted to come on and chat with you for a minute. Ping, it's always good to see you. Andrew, if you can hear me, take care, buddy. Good. It was good meeting you guys out in Tennessee, and can't wait to see you guys again. Woody, as always, brother, I love you, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, and I did put your link somewhere up in there.
I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Bye, y'all.
There you go. How's that working for you, Andrew? We got Ping and you and me.
Thank you, Roman.
I just missed something.
He said I was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Where's that? Oh, okay. I got to go back up. I get to talking. It's kind of hard to read the chats and talk and, listen. Yeah. I know it's a lot. There's a lot going on. You got to multitask.
Yeah. That's why I don't care for that EV Mux, because like he said, that the chat is on the left side. Well, yeah, that's further from me, and I'm having a hard time reading it as it is. So, yeah.
Well, how fast you're up and down there where you're at, Ping?
Well, I just upgraded to the 1 terabyte up and down. Well, it's fiber. Yeah, and I had I guess it was the 500 meg, and I upgraded to the I guess it's 1 terabyte, because they gave me an offer that to pay the same amount of money plus get a $100 Visa gift card. So I said, why not? So I gave them a call, and I said, okay, I'm already paying you guys $70 a month. If I upgrade, how much more would it cost? And it would be like maybe $5, she said. So I said, okay, let's do it. So.
Yeah, like Chris said, it's gig service. That's what I'm running on. I just checked it. What I'd say, Andrew, when we first started backstage, I think I was running like around 900 up and down, which is almost gig service. Mm. So it's I think it's kosher now. I'm not glitching out. Let's see, at the house, we glitch because we're on satellite and it's going 22,000 miles to space and coming back. Now, if I do Elon Musk's thing, Starlink, it's different. You buy the kit. It's a little bit more expensive on the front end, but it's month to month. There's no subscriptions. And they're in low orbit, so they're running about 300 and some odd miles above. And I think that it would be quicker a little bit than Usenet. So anywho, until that point, I guess I'm coming over here every Thursday because I'm booked out till about the middle of November.
Yes, Chris, that's right. I guess that's what they call it.
Yeah, there you go. Andrew says 850 to 900. I think that's what I was.
Yes, there it is. 1 gig speed. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's plenty to do anything you need to do. Andrew,
Well,
can you hear us? He's just been having all kinds of quirks, but
yeah, I was only considering it because I have two screens, and for some reason it was, I don't know, not smooth anymore. So I'm thinking, okay, if I go faster, maybe will that help it? And the lady says, "Oh yeah, it should." I said, "Okay."
yeah, I run two screens as well, Ping, because I like to present and this and that if I need to.
Yeah.
But I run two screens as well.
See, I have my big screen on my left, and that's where I do the streaming. Because on my right, I have the smaller screen, but I have it enlarged so I can see the text bigger. That's where I do my eBay.
I'm getting a little bit of a back echo now while we're talking. I don't know what's causing it. I got everything turned on the settings. If you go to audio, if everybody has on the echo cancellation, reduce mic on there, it should help. But
Well, when I go on anybody's live, I have to mute the regular YouTube. Otherwise, I get the feedback.
yeah, that's what I'm getting, a little feedback. But I think, see, we're into this about 1 hour and 31 minutes and 17 seconds. Andrew, would you have any closing statements? We're going to start getting off here.
Nope.
Anybody?
Oh,
Ping?
if it works, I'll say if you can hear me, then no, I don't have nothing closing. Just everyone.
Uh-oh. Well, we heard him for a little bit.
Keep grinding.
Yeah, well, buddy, thank you so much for coming on the Reselling with Woody channel live. I know we kind of got this lag. You're having internet problems. Me and Ping, we got echoes. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on, but that's what happens on this channel. Thank all of y'all, everybody in the chat. Thank you for coming on and supporting. And it means a lot to me as always. But we're going to call this a night. I'm going to take a break. I'm sure everybody's got to go do something. And thank you all so much, everybody in the chat. Ping, Andrew, thank you. We will see you next Thursday at 7 o'clock with Jay Philly Retro. So check it out, 7 o'clock next Thursday on the Reselling with Woody channel. See ya.
All righty. Bye, everybody.
Check it out, 7 o'clock next Thursday on the Reselling with Woody channel.